And I'm just wondering, why don't you guys talk to Rihanna, your so-called queen, and ask her and tell her those $1 billion, that those billions that she's making on Fenty hair, she can donate so much of that money and so much of those products to the black community. They can use, they're in desperate need of hair products. You think Rihanna cares about you guys? She just cares about your money. Pretending to care. They can't afford it. Some can, but in the black community, they say they're afraid of other black, they got some rich, some well-off other black kids that are well taken care of. But the poor ones, what about the poor ones? They get made fun of and feel like they don't have enough, and their hair needs more stuff. While Rihanna showed up with a wig on her first launch day of her hairline, why would she even dare show up with a wig? Why would she dare waste a minute? You know how much money was wasted on taking those freaking pictures? Why didn't she wear her natural hair to begin with? Because it was bald. Maybe she was embarrassed and afraid that her hair, she would get made fun of. Because she's just as much of a student as everyone else. I don't want to make fun of Rihanna. Because maybe I can talk her into, maybe she doesn't see things the way I see it. Maybe we can talk to these billionaires, because sometimes I want them to know that it's hard. They have it good because they have massage therapy and all the things that they need to feel better, to carry on. But we don't have, we're working with what we have. So it's not easy for us to talk to you nice. And you taking everything and giving a little bit, only 10%. We need 40%. Because for 100% of the black community, not even 100, maybe 50, 90, 80% of the black community shows up to your show just to hear you say, bitch, better have my money. You should know me well enough. And that's who you're going to worship? She's going to throw you out the minute she hires you. This is how she's talking to the kids. Bitch, better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough. Pay me what you owe me. You pay them what you owe them. Now it's your turn to pay, Rihanna and Beyonce. It's your turn. You know how expensive it is just for her, just to go see Beyonce and Rihanna. The front show is probably over $5,000, and they have the nerve to tell us to donate. When are you guys gonna start donating? Because the last time I checked, we're always donating. That's why we're broke. Because we're giving our last. I see myself donating what I don't even have to donate. But they're still rich. You're still a billionaire because you're not giving, because you're not donating. And if you are, prove it, and don't stop proving it, because I want to see it every single day. I don't want to see your butt, Kim Kardashian. I don't want to see you shaking. I don't want to hear Rihanna's music. It's not even that good. The only songs that are good are the ones that they have out on the radio. I've heard her CD. It's trash, garbage. And even if it's hard being an artist, there are so many good artists out there that are not billionaires. Why is Ariana Grande still a millionaire if that's the case? If we're talking about being fair. Because Ariana Grande sings far way better than Rihanna. Better than Beyonce, if anything. Beyonce got a great voice, but Rihanna be hitting them high notes. Beyonce's not even a billionaire on her own. But somebody got Rihanna up there so quick because she has green eyes. Because I don't know what else she's doing. She might be doing a little better than what Beyonce's doing, because I saw her donating to Africa. But one time, breaking news needs to be Rihanna just donated to this company. Breaking news is Rihanna just built a program for the black community, for the children, the youth that need the help the most. Breaking news is here in America, they build educational systems that are going to help teach them how to speak and come out of their Ebonics speaking ways. Because Ebonics is not going to get you nowhere if you don't know how to be soft-spoken when it comes to teaching these kids how to speak. When I was a babysitter, I wasn't yelling at the kids. Of course, there was times where Dresden, I had to spank Dresden a little bit. Dresden had my daughter's pacifier in his mouth. But that was when my daughter showed up. My daughter was a new infant. And I had told Dresden, I was babysitting Dresden. I told Dresden he was only 2 years old. See, it's hard taking care of kids. This is why we're asking these billionaires, why don't you donate? Because it costs money. So we can hire the right people that know how to do that instead of hiring patients. They're hiring abused people, and guess what? The pattern of abuse is continuing. People need to recover before they get behind that counter. I did a great job with Dresden. He just got a little bit of a tiny pat, a tiny spanking from all he needed was a pacifier of his own. I wasn't even thinking like that. All I was thinking is the germs from a toddler that can kill my infant. That's all I was thinking. I was like, this toddler is, I see what toddlers get into everything. Just like I watch my dog licking the floor. Drive me crazy. You want to die? That's what I tell my puppy. Licking on the floor. I don't like her licking on the floor. I look at everybody else's dog. Nobody else's dog is licking on the floor, but my puppy is licking the floor. Looking at me on purpose. I don't know if she's trying to see if I care, but that's why she's not going for any walks. Because you want to lick the floor, you don't go for a walk. She thinks she has a strong immune system. She does, but you know, animals are animals too. They're not God. They'll die off of. That's why animals haven't lived forever yet. Because you don't put on the diapers. You don't cover their private areas. They're not eating healthy. They're not taking their vitamins, probiotics. That's why they're not living long. They're dying at 15. Those animals for sure can live longer. Why wouldn't they if they can exist? And so can you. So can your children. But when you feed your children processed foods, meat, chitlings, chicken, they're not going to make it. That's why they're losing it. You got to get those bad foods off the shelves. These sodas. Maybe Sprite is the only soda I could think of. Soda is the only little party we can have. But these energy drinks are no good for people's bodies. The only good ones is Body Armor. This is the only good one because it has electrolytes. This is what you need instead of taking Red Bull. It's going to have your heart pumping like crazy. Going to pass out somewhere. These shelves. Which one of these are all these processed? All this should be illegal. Process. People are dying from this. There's nothing wrong with having spicy food, but it can't have dairy. It can't have dairy. In the black community, they don't even have enough, you know, they talk bad about them. These Spanish people are making fun of them because they think they're stupid. And I know it sounds like I'm not picking on anybody because I literally spoke to one of the girls that worked at the self-storage, and she was Spanish. And I told her about what was going on in the Spanish community. She said, I'm going to show you. I even recorded our conversation. She said, no, you're right. This happens in the Spanish community. They just think they can just say anything. Quiet outside, but inside it's a whole nother story. We need to be careful. This is what I mean. Like, you know, when you come here, we all need to be very careful.